Hello, this is Kelly from Root Pursuit, and I'm excited to show you this adorable little artist trading card mini book. So yeah, it's basically binding, different kind of binding technique. And yeah, so if you're into ATCs, this might be a way to display them or to simply use up your playing cards and with a fun little project or perhaps a gift. So, all right, let's get started. So the cover here is just basic, actually it's cardboard, but it's a tea, the inside container of, I think it was Yogi tea, that I opened it up and I thought, oh, that's so pretty. So I used it for that. I did add the ink. So basically just brushed on ink in the rainbow colors, as you can see. And then I added a washi sticker, so over the top. So, and then I wrapped it in this cute little, it's kind of a boho theme. And yeah, so let's just go ahead and open it up. So it's a little bit different design. I made the binding a little bit too wide, so I have the instructions, and I'm going to show you how to do it with the revised binding size, because I made mine too wide. I thought, oh, I'm going to give it extra room, and I gave it a little too much, but that's okay. All right, so I've got a little elastic here, and there's one elastic on the left and one elastic on the right, so it basically is 4 cards that fold out, and then obviously it's like 8 because you get because it's double-sided. So, and you can just, you know, make these lovely little pieces. And I never fold it the right way. Here's another little pocket. Ooh, little pocket. Little piece there. Okay, so you fold it like that, and then you fold it like this. I'm gonna pull it back there. And then you fold it like this and like this. So, and then I just have that elastic. And I pop it over like so. I did, because it was so thick, I added a little writing journal area in the middle to kind of use up that space for the person who is going to use this. And then on the other side, I have elastic as well. I'll show you how I did the elastic, because the first time I did it, I did the angle and that didn't work as well. So I definitely recommend this elastic. So here's the other side, and little pockets for little inspiration. And then you can just flip it over and see what we've got on the other side. So a little doily, silver doily pocket here, and a little inspiration, a little pocket here. That in there. Oop. And then some vellum tab and a little inspiration here. So again, we just, that's the back, so we fold it, fold it, fold it, fold it. And then, oop, put the elastic back. So, all right. So I really like this design, and the binding, everything is just together with lace glued on. So yeah, super easy. I was just trying to come up with an idea and for how to bind that, and that's what I came up with. All right, so basically what you have is 4 pieces of cardboard, and after you've decorated them, then those 2 pieces, so this will end up being the front cover together. Is that right? Uh-oh. All right, so I don't mess it up, I'm gonna put, is that right? Top, front cover, this side. So this is up, and that is down. Because when it's all done, I want that elastic to be on this side. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we'll see this one. So the writing that I have here is going to go there. Well, this one I did right. Okay, and then we'll put up and an arrow and down arrow. Okay, and I will take a screenshot, I think, of this image. I'll probably add it to my Etsy shop when I get a chance, but in the meantime, if you don't see the link in the description, go ahead and send me an email. My email's in there, and I'll go ahead and send you a picture of this with the dimensions. So, all right, so if you can see this, so we've got inside cover, and I wrote it in pencil, so it's hard to see. Okay, inside back cover, and you're gonna need 2 tiny hole punches. I think this is 1/16 or 1/8 hole punch. So, yeah. It's a little tinier than the regular hole punch for sure. And all right, so once you've got these, here's this. Oh, I gotta measure it. Measuring. So its length is 9 centimeters. And its width is 6, it's like 6 1/4, but I'm just gonna say 6 1/2. So that's where it's at. But also the size is just slightly bigger than a playing card. So you know, if you want to measure it that way, and then it might be a lot easier to just make these a little bit bigger than your playing card. That'll work too, if you're that kind of measurer. And then 1 seam binding, and we'll measure this so you know what the width is. And it looks like 2 centimeters. I would say 2 centimeters is going to be perfect. I gave it a little more extra again, but you're not going to need it. So 2 centimeters will be perfect. And of course, the length, the height is the same at 9 centimeters. So 9 centimeters by 2 centimeters. We're all about centimeters today. All right. So the first thing we do, once we've got our cards and we have them marked down and we know which direction they go, then we're going to turn it over. So the blank sides are the sides that we get to decorate. So these with the writing, we're never going to see those. Those are going to be glued together. All right, so now we don't have to worry about it. They're all marked and we know exactly what we want. So now I can decorate them how I want them. So let's see here. I decided to do these leaves, and I'm just gonna do the whole thing, the background, with this lighter green. It's called peeled paint, but it's like basically a pea green, I would call it. And I'm just gonna do light, so hopefully I don't do it too dark because it's already looking dark. So we'll see. This part's an experiment, so, but we're gonna make them all the same because I don't think we're gonna be able to do it over. So whatever it turns out to be, and if I don't like it, then I'll do it again. But I'm not gonna decorate these with I'm excited about decorating them with the ink, because then it's not bulky, especially for that inside cover with the dots. I need that to be flat. So I can, if I decide to redo it, I'll just re-ink a piece of paper and just paste that right onto it and replace the holes. That's my way of giving myself an out. That's why I love junk journaling, because it's so forgiving. Mistakes are fine. You can just cover it up and do it again. That's why I love it. Okay, so now that we have our background, I was going to put this on some paper and then I took it away. All right, so here we go. So we've got our stencil, and then I'm gonna put away my pea green, and this is more like a dark emerald green. It's called Pine Needles, and I'm gonna use the stencil over the top. And hopefully this, oh, don't move it. Don't move the stencil. Keep it still. Like this sort of green, just really simple green deal. Okay, all right. So that's pretty good. I don't know about that edge. I should have gone all the way over, I think. Huh, okay. It's all right though. Let's see, now we've got this part. So I'm gonna take that right to that edge. I think with this one, if I'm calculating it correctly, this edge is gonna be covered up with my lace binding anyway. Oop, don't move. We said we weren't gonna move and then we did. Okay, all right. Oh yeah, that one looks really cool. All right, here we go again. And maybe you just have a stamp you can use instead of a stencil, a pattern stamp. Or you can simply glue on some decorative paper, ephemera, book page. Why not? It'll all work. And then just punch through those. Which side we have here? Top, front, top. Okay. So for this one, I want that edge to go right here. Oh, come on. Don't forget. Had to move it. Okay, so I want to tell you a funny story with how this project came to be, because I've just been working on ephemera like crazy lately and not necessarily doing a lot of projects or getting any actual completed things done. So this actually was one where I had to, I was forced into it. And it was really funny because I saw a junk journaling virtual class online, and I thought, ooh, let's just go and hang out with some other junk journals. This is gonna be fun. So I signed up for it, and it was like a Saturday night from like 9 to midnight. I thought, oh, that'll be perfect. I know I'll be free, and that's when I'm crafting anyway. And I forgot about it. You know, that happens. You're like, oh, I didn't get my Facebook reminder. And lo and behold, a day later, I get a little messenger message from someone saying, oh, I'm finishing or working on my book, and here's my address. And if you want to send me yours, just send it to this address. So I go back on there. I'm like, what is she talking about? So I go back on the group for that project, and it turns out it was a swap, and I had been assigned to someone. So I thought, oh my gosh, I don't want to be one of these. I don't know how I walked myself into that. I had no idea it was a swap. So someone out there was like expecting, you know, a little book coming to them. So I thought, oh my goodness, I don't want to be that person that says I didn't do it. And so I got to make this and came up with the binding, and it worked out really well. All right, so now we've got our 4 pages. So now what we want to do, so inside back cover. So, oh, and this is just a little piece of elastic. It's actually the same elastic you use in masks. So, and you don't need that much. You just need a tiny bit. And then I inked it with this pine needles so it would match everything. So that worked out really well. Let's see. I might need a little a little more. Anyway, so if you can find any kind of elastic, I don't know, maybe just grab one of those extra masks and use that elastic, or you've got any extra mask elastic laying around. I mean, we are crafters, so, you know, I'm just trying to think of ways. I mean, sometimes you can get things at the thrift store, like clothing or whatever, that has like elastic built into it. I don't know, but, or just find elastic in the craft section at the thrift store if you're lucky. That might be a little trickier, but you never know. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut off the part that I didn't ink because that doesn't look good. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this through here, and you want the elastic to basically just go from here to here. You don't need it to be a lot of extra. You don't want it to be taut. You just want it about that length. So just kind of loose, but not too loose. So, and I am not going to tie this because it's going to take up bulk if I tie it. So I got to get this other end through there. You can do it. You can do it. Okay, should just do one at a time. All right, so once you get it through, then you're gonna glue. Now this is our glue side, so if you got writing on it and you marked all this stuff down so everything is correct, then you know you're doing good. This is our glue side. So, and that's just real loose. You don't want it too tight. And if you want, you can taste a little. You don't want to taste it. You want to take a little bit of washi tape and just tape it down. You can do that as well. All right, so we've got one of those done. Now we've got our second elastic. Pop it through there. And it makes it easy. You just are gluing on the glue side, so nothing to it. Okay. Just in there, nice and easy. And I do use this glue. I would recommend using fabric glue for this because we are actually using fabric, even though I always use glue for paper. This is one time where you're using it for what its intended purpose was. So, all right, so we'll just leave that loosey-goosey, chuck my other piece of elastic. Okay, so nice and loose, it'll dry, and it's gonna be even more secure once we get our covers together. Now, what do we have? Front cover, front cover. So we're all decorated, we've got our elastic on, and now we want to make sure that our up and up is together. So, dun, dun, dun. So this is going to be our front cover. Is that correct? Oh, that doesn't matter, but good gravy, Gertrude. Okay, so if this is our front cover and we open the book this way, then our elastic is to the outside. So this is our front cover. This is the top of our front cover. We open up our book and the elastic is to the left. Okay, we got that. Now, the other element is our binding, how this is all gonna stick together. So in my case, I'm gonna use this lovely lace to keep it all together. And you can cut a piece that is a little bigger, so we'll trim it later. A little bit bigger makes it easier to manage. So we're just keeping our cover together. So our binding is going to be here because this is our front cover and we open it this way. So inside there our lace goes right here. So I'm just going to glue this down. And then I'll show you. So it says front cover, top, binding, bottom. So that is our little guide to show us how that sticks together. And then once that is all done, we're ready to glue these two pieces together. Let's do it. So, and like I said, all that ink or whatever is in the right place, or in the inside. So I'm gluing this down. I'll put a little extra glue here and a little on the side, extra along the edges. I like to be generous when I'm doing a cover like this with the glue, generous with the glue. Okay, and then we're just gonna hold it together. You can use paper clips or binding clips to keep it in place, to make sure everything stays as it should. And then if you want, you can just trim the top of that and the bottom. I suppose you could keep it long, but I kind of like it like this. Okay, so that's our binding. Now we can do the same thing to the back. So we've got our back cover. So when we see the back, it's going to open like this. And this elastic is going to be on this side this time, to the outside. So make sure our arrows are pointing the same way. So now we know we can put our binding right along here. So I got my glue. Just trim that off. And then take this, glue that together. Drop your glue on the table. When it starts to get halfway full, that glue just falls over all the time. That's just how it goes. Okay. So now we've got the front and the back cover with our elastic on the inside, just how we want it. Perfect. And now we have our spine. So this is how the spine is going to fit in there, and we can decide how we want the spine. We could cover it with lace if we want. Now if we look at this spine, I just so let's just say this is the outside, and we could definitely do that, which I think I'm going to this time. I might even do a little green underneath. I'm just gonna do this green, that pine needle green over the top. And this is gonna be the outside spine. And I'm just gonna glue this lace down. And I'm gonna leave it the same width, so you can do whatever you want. You could just put a thin piece of lace down there, or this width lace, it makes no difference. And then just keeping it the same length as the spine. So that's going to be our spine outside. And this side, we're going to glue down our lace to the inside of that spine. And if you figure out that you need a bigger width at this point, a bigger spine, you know, the spine will be bigger based on how much room you give it in between. So let's just say I wanted it to be bigger, more expandable spine, pulling it out and giving more fabric space in between here will do that job. But I don't really need that extra space. I just need a couple of millimeters extra there. So that should be plenty. So there we go. So that's our inside spine. So you can see, I mean, that looks really nice too. We're gonna let that dry a minute. And then at which point you can attach your playing cards. I chose to decorate all of my cards beforehand, but if you do that, I would at least attach, you know, put them, so we're gonna do that now. I think it'll just be easier to explain it. So basically, we're gonna do 4 cards on one side and 4 cards on the other. Do I wanna use all these yellow ones? I don't know. I have some of this color too, so we'll just do every other one. We'll do 2 of these, and we'll do 2 of those, and that will just work. All right, so let's see here. There we go, maybe like that. Oh, it doesn't matter, they're gonna touch either way. I think. Wait, I figured it out. Now they're every other one. Okay, so now you only have to have the lace on one side, so we're just gonna take a piece of lace and put a glue line down both sides here. And there we go. Just like that. And I should wait until my glue is dry, but no. Guess I'm not doing that today. All right. And just leave a couple millimeters of space in between, like so. Make sure they're straight. This time I'll cut the lace. Okay. Now, the reason I think you should do it this way first is because you never know how your lace is going to lay on these. So you can kind of decorate it based on whether or not you want the lace to show or the lace to be covered up, basically. So on these, the lace is showing in 2 spots, but on the other side, you've got cards where it's completely open and there's no lace at all attached to it. That makes sense. Okay. So then it'll be easy to decorate. And the other thing that it's important to attach the lace beforehand is, you know, if you want to do tabs, items that stick out, because on this particular type of book, you can only have your item sticking up at the top and the bottom, not on, you know, you couldn't put a tab on the edge of this card. So if you put a tab, let's just say I wanted to make this a tab and glue that out, you know, when you fold it, it wouldn't work. So, all right, so I've got these 4 cards, not 3 cards. And so let's just say, and how do I need this done? So basically I need to attach this card to here. from here to here so that it folds out this way. Or I can put the lace, the binding lace, from here and here, and then you wouldn't be able to see it on this side. But I think I'm gonna like it better if I put it on this side, and then when you open it up, you know, it'll just look like that. So we're just gonna have a little more lace, and that'll leave this area kind of open, maybe? I don't know, can't decide. You can do it either way, and I think both ways are perfectly fine. If I change my mind, I'm gonna do it like this way. You'll see it in a second, and you'll know what I'm talking about. But the sequence of adding this lace is pretty important, so you don't want to leave it to the end after you decorated it. I think you'll see that you'll end up running into a few problems. Okay, so now I'm just going to let that dry, and then the way this is going to work is this elastic will just pop right over there and keep it all in place. And once you start adding to this, it'll just get bulkier and your elastic will stretch, so it'll grow with the book, so that'll work nicely. So yeah, and then you can just fold it out like so. So that works really good. All right, so that's how you make these books. I hope you give this a try. These are really cute, and they, like I said, they would make a really cute gift. And you can use lace for all this binding, or you can use any kind of like muslin or fabric. I mean, you could use decorative fabric, you could use plain solid fabric and cover it. It's totally up to you. So I just think the fabric and the lace is a really nice feature. I wouldn't use washi tape because I don't think that would stick very good. And it just wouldn't work. So I wouldn't do that. But otherwise, I mean, lace or crochet or you know, muslin, something along that line would work really nicely. And now these are all ready to decorate, and then you just do the exact same thing with the other side. And you've got a nice spine that will hold up to the bulk and everything that you add to it. Then you can use a ribbon to tie the outside together. And yeah. All right, so let's just do a little close up on the cover and the back. And then we'll open it up and you can kind of see, yeah, what it looks like. Okay, all right, that was plenty of talking about it. Okay, well, as always, thanks for coming along. If you like these videos, there'll be more coming out soon, so go ahead and subscribe to see the latest ideas we've got going on. And all right, I'll talk to you later.